Hey, what's up, everyone? It's the Urban Libertarian reporting from Los Angeles. It's April 3rd, 2017. And I don't know how I ended up on NPR's website. Don't even ask. I know. I just was like, hey, let's go see what's going on NPR and the propaganda machine paid for by your tax dollars. And this caught my eye, this headline. And I had a feeling it was going to be what it was, and it's just a total mindfuck hit job on illegal immigrants. And basically the report makes you somehow feel like guilty for upholding the law. I'm not really sure, but the headline, at least in print, is "Spotlight on Migrant Crimes Drums Up Support for Trump's Immigration Dragnet." It's Trump's immigration dragnet. It's just a big net trolling around and just getting all those poor immigrants. They can't even say illegal immigrant. Even what I'm going to do is actually, I'm not going to read this. I'm going to listen. We're going to listen together to the story. And they can't even say illegal immigrant here. So let's listen to the story, and I'm just going to go over it.
President Trump regularly spotlights violent crimes committed by immigrants in the country illegally.
He can't even say illegal immigrant. He has to say it the weird, long way when they have to say illegal immigrant. Immigrants in the country illegally. My God. So here they are blaming Trump for spotlighting the problems when all he's doing is balancing out the media, because the media only reports on the great things that illegals do in this country, right? But when do they ever talk about the bad things? When they're forced to, because Trump's talking about it. And think of it, if Trump had one, we wouldn't be talking about this at all.
Illegally. His administration has pledged to deport more of these so-called bad hombres. That outrage is increasingly bubbling up in communities across this country, but to what end?
Outrage. People are outraged increasingly across communities across the United States. They're outraged because Trump's basically telling the government to enforce the federal immigration laws. Wow. I mean, really, that's what they're outraged about. They're outraged because of rule of law. Wow.
NPR's John Burnett has our story.
Early last month, San Antonio residents listening to the evening news on KENS TV heard a particularly grim crime story.
Good evening. A man charged with shooting and killing a pregnant teen is now behind bars.
Police arrested 35-year-old Armando Rodrigo Garcia Ramirez for shooting and killing 15-year-old Jennifer Delgado.
Police said the slain teenager was 9 months pregnant with the man's child. The fetus died too. Today,
This dude shoots his girlfriend and kills her and the unborn child. But, don't talk. We're not supposed to talk about that. And if we do talk about that, well, then we're just somehow drumming up support to have a dragnet to take all kinds of poor little Mexican grandmas all across the United States and kick them out.
With double capital murder, and there's more. Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that he's a Mexican national who was in the United States illegally.
Oh, which means he shouldn't have been here, which means if they actually enforce the law, and maybe whether you agree with it or not, or think it's practical or not, or whatever, but if there was some kind of whether it be a literal fence or better defense of the border, which is the job of the federal government. It's one of their very few fucking jobs, by the way. One of their very few jobs, by the way, is to protect the border. And that's just basic, and you should know that. Okay? If they were actually doing their jobs, then maybe this woman and her child wouldn't be killed. But we're not supposed to talk about that.
Under the Obama administration, Garcia Ramirez was twice picked up by immigration agents, released both times, and later granted a work permit.
Oh, my God. He was picked up twice, and then they said, here you go. Here's a work permit. So it's obvious. Look, it's obvious. Everybody knows. It's not a secret. The Obama administration, and even to the lesser extent, the Bush administration, was very they like illegal immigration.
The San Antonio pregnant teenager double murder enraged conservatives across the spectrum. And
so a murder of a teenager and her unborn child, it only enraged conservatives, but liberals and Green parties, they were cool with it. What? That should piss everybody off. What the fuck's wrong with you?
In Washington, Senator Charles Grassley, chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee that oversees immigration, fired off a letter to ICE demanding answers. Breitbart featured the story prominently, and it popped up on scores of right-wing websites.
Oh, but here's the thing. Why does... And there's the admission right there. So the news story that an illegal immigrant killed his girlfriend and teenage girlfriend and unborn child only shows up on quote-unquote right-wing websites, which tells you what? The story didn't show up on regular news sites, or AKA extreme left-wing websites, which is just regular legacy mainstream media, right? So there they go. This own report from NPR, and NPR maybe is only talking about it now. I'm not sure if NPR did a report on it. Maybe this is the first time they're talking about it. Probably, right? So even this own report is proving that the mainstream media didn't even want to talk about it. So then these evil right-wing, news outlets, they reported on it. Well, thankfully they reported on it. Well, what's the problem there? Fuck.
Sites.
Howdy, 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 my friends. George Rodriguez, El Conservador, talking to you from San Antonio, deep in the heart of South Texas. Let's talk about immigration news today.
George Rodriguez writes a blog and does an internet radio show under the name El Conservador, the conservative, once a week.
Oh. But his last name's Rodriguez. He can't be a conservative. That doesn't make any sense. I bet you that just blows people's minds. There's like a Latino conservative guy. Wow. I mean, it's... the world's a lot bigger than you think, folks.
Conservative. Once a week, he writes about the worst crimes he can find committed by unauthorized immigrants. He sat down for an interview
Oh, and he's a racist Trump supporter, right?
For an interview last week.
And once a week, I come up with at least 5, 6 of them committed in diverse places like Minnesota. There was a case in Massachusetts not too long ago that I read about where a teacher was murdered by her illegal immigrant boyfriend. They're everywhere.
The boyfriend in that case has pleaded not guilty. No one...
Look at this. I mean, this guy has... It's like, quote-unquote, right-wing websites and, like, this guy and people like me and some other people, they're reporting it, but, like, the mainstream news just doesn't want to report this. And if you do report it, you're some kind of, like, racist is what they're implying. Or you're drumming up hate. What?
Argues these are serious crimes and the victims deserve our sympathy. But critics believe that focusing on the birthplace and immigration status of a criminal demonizes all unauthorized immigrants.
What? Right there. But critics say, how can you criticize? How can you criticize somebody pointing out that there are people in the country that some of them, not all, see, that's just stupid logic if you're not paying attention to what they're saying. They're saying, look, there's people that shouldn't be, that this should, if they're not here, then it wouldn't have happened, is what they're saying. They're not saying everybody who is here illegally is some kind of violent criminal. That is just a stupid deductive reasoning by retarded liberals.
Attempt to use an anecdote to try to set up a false paradigm that there are good immigrants or bad immigrants is really just an attempt to call all immigrants bad.
Wow. Oh, it's a false paradigm to say there are good and bad people in the world. And then that's really implying that everybody's bad. What the fuck kind of mental illness is this shit?
Immigration attorney in San Antonio and director of a nonprofit called Raices that advocates for immigrants. He sits in a coffee shop for an...
Wait, advocates for immigrants or illegal immigrants? Because if they actually advocated for legal immigrants, they would be against illegal immigrants killing other illegal immigrants, legal immigrants, and fucking native-born Americans. Fuck you.
The point Ryan and others make is that a defendant should be charged, tried, and adjudicated on the facts of the crime, not his immigration status.
Who says that they're charging anybody on their immigration status? Nobody said that. The fuck are you talking about? What? That is, they're, with these arguments, they're just, and they're lawyers. I mean, God, man. What are you talking about? All they're saying is like, look, these people, if they're arrested, they should be tried like everybody else, and then they shouldn't just be let back on the street and giving a fucking work permit. Are you fucking stupid? Use your head. What?
We undermine that criminal justice system
Ugh.
by saying that immigrants need some kind of separate system of justice.
No one's saying they need separate system of justice. We're saying they need equal treatment under the law. They're not even citizens of the country. They're foreign nationals, dude.
What we're really doing is saying that we don't trust and we don't believe in our own Constitution that affords fundamental rights, including due process, to all people in this country. Immigrant, non-immigrant.
But wait.
Dude, they're not even like... They don't even have a U.S. passport. They're not here on a proper visa. No, I say fuck that. No, they don't have a right. Fuck off.
But wait, immigration hardliners insist that's not their point. El Conservador blogger George Rodriguez returns to the San Antonio murders.
If he had been detained and deported for being here illegally the first time around, the impregnation, the murder, the crime would have been avoided.
Oh my God, that is just a racist idea. Are you telling me, what a racist? You're telling me that if he was never here in the first place, then it wouldn't have happened? Ugh, racist.
What the public should be outraged about is the uneven enforcement of immigration laws, says Jessica Vaughn. She tweets prolifically on immigrant crimes at the Center for Immigration Studies, which supports Trump's crackdown.
But I don't think that translates.
The crackdown. The crackdown. The dragnet. The crackdown. You mean the enforcement of the fucking law?
That translates into a generalized hostility toward immigrants.
For well over a century, immigrants have faced hostility in the United States, going back to Italians, Poles, and Irish. Social science research stretching back almost as far.
Yeah, and you know what they all did? At least they were legal. Dude, you know why people are kind of pissed off at it? Illegal immigrants give legal immigrants a bad name. You cannot argue that. So by getting rid of illegal immigrants, and think about it, why would you be an illegal immigrant and not a legal immigrant? And one of the reasons, then people, I know I'm not like famous or big, but I could see how people, even just making a statement like that, they could twist your words around, like how they twist Trump's words around, right? One of the reasons is you're just too lazy to do the fucking paperwork, right? One of the reasons is you're too poor, you don't have enough money, or another reason is because you're some kind of criminal running from the law in your own country. So having a legal immigration system and a system that checks people who come into our country, I know this firsthand. I know what it's like to immigrate to another country and become a green card holder in another country. You have to go through a system. They have to check you out and know who the fuck you are. And that's how you prevent shit like this from happening.
Consistently found there is no link between immigrants and criminality. The contemporary question is whether studies find a correlation between immigrants who are here unlawfully and crime. On this question, there is a paucity of research. Bianca Bersani, a criminologist at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, investigates immigration and crime. She says more and more researchers are looking at this subset of unauthorized immigrants who are much in the news. And as data become available,
so far, the research is not finding that the undocumented is offending or being rearrested at rates that are any different from the U.S.-born population.
See, and that's what they want to say. They want to say, oh, well, they want to say, oh, well, these people who are here illegally, they don't have any. They're not going to commit more crimes than anybody else. They're just as much. You're just as much to you're as likely to have crime against you from an American than an illegal. Well, first of all, they're already shown that they have a criminal mind or a mindset that they're already breaking the law. They already are a criminal by definition. But going further, the Center for Immigration Studies, I think that's what it's called. I believe they actually found that illegal immigrants, because see how they're saying, she just said immigrants, not illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants actually do have a higher rate of crime. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you have the statistics, leave them in the comments. That'd be awesome. But I believe that is what the fact is, and it cannot be well, I guess facts can be disputed, I guess, but that's pretty much what seems to be true, and it makes sense because if you're here illegally, you're already committing a crime. And then you can use the logic there.
It's the abundance of attention.
So my point is that what they're doing is they're kind of saying, oh, but the point is just like what the radio host was saying. They shouldn't be here in the first place. And if they're not here in the first place, then you won't have that crime. And that's what NPR is failing to, I guess, understand. But they know it. But they're just that this is the kind of fake news. It's not, I hate to use that term, but I mean, it's just what everybody uses now. But it's just like propaganda. It's total propaganda. They just have this slant in the words they use.
To the worst immigrant crimes, whether justified or not, helps to drum up support for the president's aggressive immigration dragnet. John Burnett, NPR News, San Antonio.
Burnett, his aggressive immigration dragnet. Once again, see my point exactly. They make it sound like it's some kind of dun dun dun. It's like yellow journalism, dude. You mean it's Trump's authorization of enforcing federal immigration law. Wow. So that's how it is nowadays. If it's very, up is down, down is up. That's the extreme view of the mainstream media and NPR, that if you support immigration law, you're some kind of racist supporting dragnets. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks for your time. Subscribe if you want to see some more. I know my stuff's kind of crappy right now, but I'm working on it, and I promise I will make it even better. Thanks for watching.